What's up guys, BC here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about my DeFi strategy. So I don't want to get into too much intro, just want to get right into what we're going to do. A little later I will give out my shout out to my sponsors, but for right now, let's just dive into what my strategy is for Tinyman for earning from DeFi, crypto DeFi on Algorand, and how it's gone so far. So let's take a look. All right, so this is my Tinyman screen, and as you can see, I only have about 500 algos. So you might look at that and go, well, hold on, that's not a lot of algo. BC, I thought he was a big Algorand guy. Well, that's because I actually do have quite a bit of Algorand. This is my total position locked into Tinyman pools, and I'm using two different ones right now. By the way, you're seeing this little failed to connect. It actually took me 2 times. I had to close the app and reopen the app to actually get into it for some reason today. But this is built up over time. As I tell people, I have most of my Algorand put to work. So that's what we do here. And you can see I got a lot of positions, but really it's 2. A lot of these are like tiny little amounts. These are the 2 that matter: USDC algo and USDC US dollar token. Tether, excuse me. It's a Saturday. Leave me alone. You get a little bit, otherwise all these other little ones, these are all, it's like 10 bucks a PayPay. This is wild because this was all PayPay that I earned for free playing Fractal Monsters, who is a sponsor of the channel. So we want to give a big shout out to Fractal Monsters. Play to earn game on the Algorand blockchain. You can earn stuff like DeFi, PayPay. I've earned on there. There's been other coins on there too. I think they had some Akita on there for a while. And you can earn that just by playing, so go check it out. Also, we were brought to you by non-fungible domains. As you see this little frugalbc.algo address, that's because of non-fungible domains. It makes it a lot easier to manage your Algorand accounts, so you can find descriptions for both of those in the links below. And by the way, guys, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, I would love it if you do so. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. It works just fine that way as well. So, and we're always doing the experiments. This is one of our experiments, Tinyman. And a while back, we did an Algorand DeFi experiment. I wanted to see what actually happened, and I had most of it in USDC algo. Now, why do I like this pair? I like this pair because you have the stability of a stable coin. So there's at least one coin where you don't have to worry about impermanent loss. And then, so you're kind of, your main function is the price of Algorand plus the money you're getting. Now you can see that 7-day API, this is APY, this is for the coins themselves. Same with USDC, USDT is my other one. And I have this one because I like having 2 stables. That's just, you can't really lose from impermanent loss because these prices don't really change. I mean, they do a little bit, and there was a situation a little while back where USDC depegged from the dollar for a brief period of time. Kind of an arbitrage opportunity there too. I know some people took advantage of it, but generally these are always going to be worth $1. So really you're just making money on the exchange, which isn't very much, as you can see. That's a pretty small APY. Whereas on USDC algo, you're getting much higher ones here. I've had it where on USDC algo, I've earned more in fees from swapping than I did on the pool. That hasn't happened in a while though. That was probably a few months ago that was happening. So I have both. Why do I have both? Well, most of the time, I'm actually a really big fan of USDC, USDT for the reasons I mentioned, or other stable pairs. There's actually other stable pairs that we can look at in a minute. But I like these because really can't lose, but you won't gain as much. So let's just take a look at this one. Just give me a second. It's actually like 2 days worth, so thereabouts, about 2 days worth. One is about 388. If you take 4, that's about, it's tended to be about 78, 79 cents a day on $2,000, which is not a whole heck of a lot, but I think that's about $300 annually. So that's about 15% total, thereabouts. Those are really rough numbers. I haven't done the math, but as you can see, the rewards APR is about 12.5%. I've seen it where this is higher, where you're getting like 25, 30%. So in crypto, we tend to think of like, well, that's nothing. That's nothing, right? What about these big pools where you're getting, you got these 2 kind of random ASAs and you're earning like hundreds of percents, even thousands of percent. Well, I'll tell you a story. And this is why I did my experiment, because when I was on Yieldly. Remember Yieldly? Some of you do. Some of you might still be on it. If you remember Yieldly, I remember there was one called Board, and it was like a staking. You just staked Board and you earned like thousands % API. Well, when I cashed out, I was like, hey, wait a minute. I think I ended up with way less than when I started, even though you're earning this high percentage APY. So we did the experiment, and I did this for almost a year, where I tracked through, it was like March through the end of the year. I tracked exactly how much in real dollars that my account was worth. And you know what? I lost on all of them. I lost on all of them, even the USDC US algo one, but that one did the best out of any of them. So, but the ones where it was like Amida and algo, I mean, that one sunk. That one sunk into the ground. You're trading risk for reward. But the risk usually ends up coming true, I think, on these things. You end up with impermanent loss. Now, the other thing to factor in, especially on Tinyman, is that these only go for a certain amount of time. This one will be done in July 15th, right? And those are meant to coincide with the Algorand governance, which, as you know, is coming to an end. We're going to have node incentives coming up in Q4. So that'll be a really good option. And if you can earn 13% just chilling out, I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of that. What you're going to see is you're going to see pools go up. That's what Algorand Foundation is assuming, that there's going to be pools, and you'll be able to, you won't have to do a node yourself. You won't have to host a node yourself. You can just join in someone else's pools, which is what I'm doing with Cosmos right now. And I'm getting like 13% on Cosmos just holding it. Cosmos has had pretty decent price action, so you're still managing some impermanent loss, not necessarily impermanent loss, because you're never taking it out. So this is the thing. What happens if you get to the end of this and the prices of the coins are down? Well, you have to be out of it, right? So now you got to get into something else. So that can leave you kind of holding the bag, so to speak. And actually it happened to me last time, because I thought, well, I'll just go for USDC algo, right? Because algo is surely going to go up in that time period from where it is, where we're starting on the bull. We're in the middle of a bull run, right? Like, I think that's a good bet, because surely the price of algo is going to go up, not down. And what happened, kind of went flat. It kind of went up, it kind of went down a little bit. And what I did is I actually saved it. So I waited for the price to go up a little bit and then cashed out. So it ended up okay. But so my general thesis right now is, but I was a little cautious, so I wanted to stabilize it a little bit. So I put roughly half, maybe a little more than half, into USDC algo. So I will capture the price appreciation of algo. Oh, that's what I did. I didn't move my algo into USDC algo until it was like at 22 cents. A lot of this USDC was bought at 22 cents, whereas algo right now, as you can see, is, it's at 18 cents right now. So this USDC and all this is locked in at higher prices than what it's at right now. But I'm hoping this exposure to algo is a good thing right now, because I'm banking on the price of algo going up in the next, by summer. And, that might prove wrong. I don't know. But, the ones I don't go, stuff like Akita, PayPay. The only reason I have PayPay, like I said, this is free PayPay that I got from Fractal Monsters. Shout out to Fractal Monsters. I got some of the bank where there's like barely any. There's like 30 cents in. Sometimes I think I just clean these up and get rid of them just for purposes. So what about, let's look at this one a second. I must have been really lazy on this one. Making about 10 algo a day, so that's about $1.80. That's not bad. Not bad. $1.80 is roughly $2. It's probably about $500 a year on this 2600. So it's way better, You're earning an algo, and algo the price of that's gonna change. So how much your rewards you're getting, that's gonna change on a daily basis too. So I hope this explains why I take this strategy. And this is like, I don't know how many days this has been, but this number is not insignificant. So you actually earn money just for facilitating these swaps between algo and USDC, which is probably one of the most common ones. And it seems to do really well. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But you can see why I want to do stuff like this and not like DeFi, Akita, PayPay, Scout, all these other ones that are like even Nerd. Remember Nerd? Anyone's talking about that anymore. That's another project I wonder what happened to. There was that Launchpad, and I just don't think much has happened with that. I haven't heard anything about it. But the point is, I really prefer to go as close to stable as possible. But this is ideal right here. If I go all the farming programs, let's just take a look. Give you some examples here. OTSDGK, like stuff like this. don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're going to get Coop and Nico RWA. I have some Nico, by the way. That's one I would think about, but you can see the APR is not very good. But if you're getting chip anyway, might be a good thing. Some of these, like, you know, if you have it, if you just have it anyway, well, then you might as well put it in here. If you got the algo and you got the Nico, there's like a Nico algo, and the reward's actually pretty decent. So maybe I'll think about that one because I do have some Nico laying around. You can do silver and gold. It's just kind of interesting. I guess my point is, like, yeah, something. Then Barb's a nice guy. We talk on Twitter sometimes, but don't just think about the yield. The yield, you got to think about the volatility of the coin, because that volatility can crush it can wipe out this yield in nothing, like nothing. Because when you think about it, this is 52% on the year, right? But it's going to take a really long, you know, that's not so much every day compared to what you can lose. These things really fluctuate a lot. You know, again, if you're just earning Cosmos, fine. Yeah, I'll tell you what. So I was doing like Coop and Go ETH, and I ended up with less Go ETH by the end. It didn't really make a lot of sense, but that's how it works. That's the kind of stuff you got to keep an eye out for. So there's also FUSDT and FUSDC. That's an option. It's about 13%. It's about the same. I'm just looking for other stables. This is the one we're in. 2 different F algos. And you know how I feel about Opal. I'm just looking for like other. Usually there's a lot of stables. I think this one, if you just had, you know, I have my ETH is all on. I put it all on the Algorand blockchain, but I didn't do that with my Bitcoin. But if I was to do that, that might not be a bad thing if you just had it laying around anyway. Yeah, and actually I haven't switched over to the new farm for PayPay Algo yet, so it is what it is. I wonder about these, because these are Bitcoin with USDC. You just had it anyway. That might not be, these might not be a bad option either. You can see there's a lot of options, and I like that. That's a good thing. Not a ton of stables. Last time there were a ton of stables. This time there's not as many, but USDT, USDC, that seems to be a pretty common one. We even link USDC if you want to pay 200. We've all heard of that. Here's yours, but there was like a yours stablecoin pair. I don't see it this time. These are the kinds I would see. Now these are the kinds that people get really excited about because they see the big APR and they go, oh my gosh, that's like a crazy. You just earn and earn and earn. Yeah, but the problem is like THC could just drop, and these lesser known coins, like the more abstract the coin is, or the newer it is, or the more less established it is, the more likely it's just going to drop like a rock. So don't go, you know, you got to be careful with that stuff. So, you know, what do I think you should do? I'm not necessarily saying you should copy what I do, but you can. It might not be a bad idea. I'm just saying, like, these are some things to be aware of if you want to earn this money, because you can do pretty well and you can grow your account. But be really, really careful of impermanent loss. It's a serious thing. It will wipe out your gains, especially in something like the Tinyman farms where there's a limited amount of time, because you can't just ride it out until it's high again. Or, you know, if you have to pull it out and you're way down, you kind of have to keep you kind of have to keep it in that whatever coins it's in and let it try to come back, but then you're not in DeFi anymore. So that's something to think about too. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks to Non-Fungible Domains and Fractal Monsters for sponsoring us, as always. And hope you guys are all doing well out there. And I'm FrugalBC. Stay safe, and I will see you in the future.